All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We got the start of a new month and a new quarter tomorrow. And to kick it off, we are getting jobs data this week, and we should actually get some movement. Last week was pretty boring. We didn't end it with any fireworks. We had all of those moves. Then the PCE data came out while the market was closed. But now this week, we have jobs data a little bit more overseas. It leads into CPI, and then before you know it, it's Jerome Powell. But then it's going to be summer and middle of the year. And did they change policy and all of that? So, Chad, we got a lot to talk about. I got the plays. I got the recap, the events for this week, all that good stuff. What I need from you, a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. We will see you there in the morning. And today is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. We have the random account generator and what we ask on this watch list. You post a random option trade below in the comments. Keep it below $100, and we are going to buy that play tomorrow. But, man, we have been doing pretty good lately. We closed out on one of those DraftKings. Shout out Mr. VIP. We even had one of those good gold plays that we're still in. So, Chad, let's get a good play posted now. Run it, baby.
Walking to the couch, it's the 2020 last. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it.
But right off the bat, like we said, this is going to be a big data week. The non-farms and the jobs-related data will most likely be the highlight. If you're not familiar with the schedule, how it works for the non-farm weeks, you start off Tuesday with the jolts, then the next day you get the private payrolls, then we end the week with the non-farm payrolls. You also get initial jobless claims as well, but essentially there is 4 jobs-related data sets this week. We are going to start off the week with the ISM manufacturing, and then I think either Tuesday or Wednesday, you also get the ISM services. We even have Jerome Powell on the calendar this week as well, but if anything is going to move the needle, it is going to be this jobs data, and this is going to be the first set of big data that we get leading into the CPI, which is going to be next week. So beyond that data, there's most of the action. It's going to be domestically, but to give you a little bit of spice in the mornings, you will be getting data for CPI out of Germany and the Euro area, and that could move some things depending on how these mornings play out. I also think we're getting PMI data out of China, so maybe that gives us some moves, but all around, we actually have action here in the States, and it is going to be big data, so we'll see where it takes us. Or maybe Powell gives us something, but that is your first big key. Now, the second big key, what happened there on that Thursday, Friday, and what are we coming off of, and what are we getting ready for this week? So as far as the first one, the PCE, it came in mostly in line on that Friday there. I believe it was a little bit hotter. The core was in line, and then I think personal spending came in a little hotter as well. But if you go look at the futures right now, we have already gapped up. Maybe it's because of Easter. He has risen, baby, but we're going to see this reaction coming into tomorrow. That is what we were dealing with, and like I said, tomorrow we will get the PMI data in the morning, so we'll see how that moves us. But now for the data this week, this is why the data has been interesting, because I said watch what Friday does. Right now futures are up, the data was hot there, but remember, a lot of the stuff that we've been dealing with, the market is kind of priced all of it in, or is borderline following that path and not the data. And what I mean by that is, even coming into this week now, with the non-farms being the main story, you are getting some very interesting expectations that are already priced in right now. As of right now, we are expecting the jobs to come in at 198. That is a very big decline from the last jobs report that we got, but even though we expect the number to come down, we think the unemployment rate is going to stay unchanged at 3.9, and then the wages are expected to come in, I believe, the hottest since like 2022. So there's a lot of push and pull here. It's not as if the market is expecting the best thing in the world or not, but like we were saying here, it's not as if this data is going to move us too much, especially given what Powell and the Fed and that recent SEP has already outlined. So we'll see if Powell moves that there, but depending on the data, maybe if it's meaningfully big and it really does move things, maybe it wakes people up. Otherwise, we'll have to wait and see. And like we said, we have this week of data, and then you're going to have to deal with CPI. Then it's going to be Powell, and then the whole game, and then the minutes, and all that good stuff. But that being said, Chattadonia, let's wrap it up with a quarterly end, man. It was a very, very big quarter. I hope you guys realize that. There were a couple of things that ended up standing out. As far as winners on the quarter, the number one best performing asset of Q1, it was cocoa, 133%. Then Bitcoin at 69%. The Nikkei went up 20%. The Magnificent Seven, just 7 stocks, went up 17%. Oil went up 16%. The SPY went up 10%. And then depending on who you ask for gold, it was either 7 or 12. But you're going to have to ask them about that. As far as losers on the quarter, United States 30-year treasuries, those dropped by 4%. The Swiss franc fell by 7%. The yen fell by 7%, and iron ore fell by 20%. So pretty interesting here on the quarter and what we got. But like I'm saying here, the main theme seems to be the policy shift and all of the nuance that comes with it. This responding to the data, getting into this whole, are we in the golden path or not? Why are we reacting like this? The bond rates, the Fed futures, it's bringing in so much with it. And as long as the economy is not slowing down, that's what we're waiting for. And now one quarter into this, you have really been following since, December? Or even like last October, November? It's pretty much the same story. So overall, though, we had huge moves this quarter. We'll see where it takes us next. I hope you're locked and loaded, because by the time we end this next quarter, it'll be summer. We're going to be starting up summer. So I hope you're ready, Chad. But now, let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, I got a couple of, I actually have 4 plays for today. There was a couple. I made one option trade on Friday. I went with a small option trade, so I'm going to start with this one, Snowflake. I grabbed the April 195s for 55 cents. I think they went down a little bit by the end of the day there, but there was news that the CEO bought like $5 million worth. Remember, they replaced the CEO and all that. They had bad earnings. They really got clobbered there, so that's what drew me to the stock. It's moved a lot recently. It's still kind of been guttered if you go and look at the chart. It's not like it's really moved up since there, so I was hoping for one of those quick bounce backs. I've already lost on one of those plays so far since that earnings, so maybe with earnings coming up right around the corner, they still got a lot more time, but that news gave it a little bit of juice. We'll see if there's any follow-through coming into Monday. That is play number 1. Then play number 2, GRTS. I brought this one up on Friday if you were there for the live watch list, but they got a cancer drug, and there is this conference going on in San Diego between like April 8th and April 10th, and I believe they will be there. It's not confirmed, but then they are scheduled to have other data towards the end of the quarter, around beginning of April here, so keep your eyes out for it. They are a cancer drug. I do not have a play on this. I made 2 other biotechs last week, so I was planning on getting out of those and then moving into this, so we'll see how this one ends up playing out. That is play number 2. Then play number 3. This one, I think very interesting, man. NVO. I talked about it last week. I still have a play. I think it's going to expire this week, but they didn't move much last week, and they had a lot of news, and it's been very hard to ignore everything that's going on with it. So watch out for it. It's either going to keep slowing down and selling off after moving crazy. Like I said, I didn't like NVO because when it's not moving nuts, it moves very slow, and we got a taste of that last week. So watch for it to either kick back up into high gear or kind of meander along, but there has been a lot of news lately. I think same applies for like Eli Lilly, even like VKTX. They even had some data the other day too, so watch out for that. But that is play number 3. And then finally, this is the one I got to throw in here, man. Play number 4, gold. So I don't have any plays on this. I do want to make some flips on this one back and forth, but man, this thing has been low-key going crazy out of everything, and it's very hard to tell whether or not it's undershooting or overshooting the market. Like I said, depending on who you ask, some people say gold's up 7 on the year. Ask other people, they'll say it's up 12%. SPY's up around 10% so far here on the quarter. So we got to ask ourselves, is it outpacing? Is it underperforming? There's a lot of factors. We've even been talking about other countries even cutting rates. I believe 2 weeks ago on one of these weekend watch lists, we were talking about the debt and how the debt's going up, and people are bringing up gold into the discussion. But this thing has been moving. Even Friday hit another new record high, or Thursday. So going to keep my eyes out for this. Watch out here, especially now that we actually have some data here the next 2 weeks, at least non-farms, CPI, and everything else. If this starts moving, I mean, I would pay attention and definitely look to find out whether or not gold is lagging or leading the market, because that will be a great play if you could find out the answer and position yourself on the right side of that. But watch out for that. I think that is going to be very important moving forward. And now, as far as everything else, I sold out of JRVR. I think we got like $1,400, and then I got out of NVCR. That was another $1,000 there. I may want to double dip on those plays. I like those still in my bond play. The 30-year bond play is up. My 2-year is down. So those 2-year plays since the Fed, believe it or not, they've came down a little bit. I am going to be watching those. I may be down to add some more because as of now, they're still lagging behind, but we'll see. Maybe the bond just needs some good data to finally believe the dot plot and get moving. And, well, that could be lined up in store this week. But besides that, Chad, we'll take it all in. Maybe we'll get ready for earnings, but we should get excitement. It's a full week. I hope you enjoyed your long weekend, and he has risen. But now, that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. And I need you to remember, you need the armor, and the armor will protect what's on the inside. It's about what's on the inside, baby. You always gonna get resistance. I ain't talking about the stock market, but even in the stock market, you do support and resistance. But Chad, let's go. Focus on it. Stay in the game. 1 quarter in the books. Let's go. Get that inner strength, and let's make it through the end of the year. And another one, and another one, another one, another one. But Chad, I love you. Drink that water. Stay hydrated, healthy, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the AM and Horna.